Powell. I'll be your host for today. Thank you for joining us. Some of you are live, most of you are listening to the recording or watching via YouTube. And I'm so excited you're here either way. I've been wanting to put this on for so long, and the day has come. I'm super excited. I'm really amped up for this. And I'm just so glad that you are also interested in what I have to share, because I know how important it is to you to have that wonderful space and that wonderful life that you so crave, and the relationships that matter to you, to have those be pure and enjoyable and aligned and very, very secure. I know how important those are to you, and I know how much they impact your life when they're not. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So again, I'm Michelle Powell. Thank you for joining me. My website is michellepowell.me. I also have a company called Some Like It Organized, where we organize clients and feng shui their homes. And I'm also a life coach. So I'm a certified life coach focusing on feminine power that brings in the sacred space that I have been doing for over 4 years, and the sacred space of our insides as women. So I love to merge the two, and that's what feng shui is all about as well. This is really about creating flow in your life, being authentic and showing your true colors and harnessing that femininity in you. I'm talking to women right now, so that you can create that life with ease, with flow, with efficiency that actually serves you, instead of trying to push too hard or work too hard or do it the way that you've always done it just because you've always done it that way. So my mission is to bring this message of ease and authentic flow and vibrancy to women through their space and inevitably through their life, and including their body. So today we're going to be talking about relationships. I'm sure you saw the title is the #1 cure for relationships, and that could mean your intimate relationships or your friends, your family, any relationship at all. And we'll also be talking about the energetics of feng shui, why it's powerful. So we'll be going over the 3-step process to actually moving your stuff so that you can change your life. And so this is for everyone, not just women. I serve mainly women, but this training is for men and women, and we'll just be focusing on this one little aspect of feng shui, and I'm actually not going to go too in-depth on it. It's going to be extremely simple, and we are actually not going to go into any of the Bagua map either. So again, this is going to be just a really simple training. You'll be surprised how powerful this simplicity can actually be, but that's where the power is in the simplicity. So let me get my notes up here, make sure I'm covering everything. So we're going to start off real quickly about what is feng shui. A lot of you may have heard of it or have experience in it, and I just want to share, why I believe in it and what I think it is all about and how I talk about it. So what I call feng shui is the cultivation of balance and harmony within a space. And that could mean your home, and that could mean your body, and it could mean your life, right? So we can utilize these principles, whatever we know about feng shui, in either of those areas. And the one thing I love that's so powerful about feng shui is how it involves your whole being. So it's not just, let me move this here, and then that's that, and it's going to have some magical outcome or result. But it involves you actually feeling into your intention and feeling into your reason why you want something to change, feeling into what you believe about yourself and your future. And that's what I train others in, to come into their own femininity to create those lives. So that's why feng shui is so powerful, is because there's just been thousands and thousands and millions of people doing that over the course of thousands of years, with the same intention, for the same purpose. That's where the power is. So if you can imagine, with its simplicity, there is still powerful results to be had by simply acknowledging things that we haven't acknowledged before. So again, so you'll learn about more feng shui history and the 3-step process for moving your stuff and the #1 cure for relationships. And then later on, I'm going to share with you about my new program starting in January. It's called Around the Bagua, and the Bagua is the feng shui map, if you aren't familiar. And it is a 9-week virtual group coaching program based on Feng Shui, where we're all going to learn the basics of every area of the Bagua. So all the areas of life we're going to cover. And so it's 9 classes through those 9 weeks. And we're going to, and I'll share more with you later, but basically it's a group program, and I have some fun bonus prizes to share with you that are time sensitive today. So stick around for that after. So yeah, so let's dive in. First, again, thank you so much for being here and being with me today. If you have questions throughout, there's only a couple of you live, so that's okay, but save those for last. And then you can also post anything on the Facebook group if you have any questions. I can answer them afterwards. So just keep that in mind if anything pops up. And I'm looking to also keep in touch with those of you that are more interested in Feng Shui, just to be able to have that community and be there to support you, because I believe in this so much. I want to bring this more to the masses and really share this information with people as much as I can. A lot of this information is actually energetically protected from being Feng Shui, being such an ancient art. So I can't share everything with you today, but that's why I wanted to keep in touch, because I will be offering some Feng Shui trainings in the future, and I'd love for you to be there with me if you're interested. So hit me up on social media if this is your thing, at Facebook or Instagram. It's Michelle Powell on Instagram. Or simply email me and let me know that you're interested in keeping in touch at michelle.powell@me.com. I would just love to stay in touch with those interested in Feng Shui. And lastly, please feel free to share this video too, since I mentioned I do want to talk more with those who are interested in Feng Shui. If you share this video, that will help me get the word out and help the world just come into a better energetic space. So that being said, without further ado, let's talk about the history of Feng Shui. Let's just knock that out real fast. So Feng Shui is the cultivation of balance and harmony within a space. It is also the ancient art of how we can work with our space, manipulate it to create things in our life. It works with the physical items and the emotional intentions to create energetic alignment. And I have a process that I have created called the energy alignment system, which is basically kind of utilizing this process of intention and belief and action. And so Feng Shui is basically means balance, and it comes from the words wind and water. And the old story goes, there was a community along the riverbed in ancient China, and they had everything that they needed. So they were in full abundance mode, and they had their crops, and everything was perfect. And then all of a sudden, a windstorm, or not a windstorm, a rainstorm came and flooded the whole place. And so all their crops got lost, everything got damaged, and so they had to actually move to a new location. And so they went up to the top of the mountain, and eventually they built their community again, their little world, their crops and all of that, and they were able to go down and get water from the river. And then a typhoon came in and wiped out their village then. So the point of the story is balance, right? Is keeping in with what is needed in all aspects. So the wind or the feng or the unseen with the water or the shui or the seen, right? Also known as yin and yang, or masculine and feminine. This is the key premise, right, of Feng Shui in general. And Western Feng Shui is what I have been trained in. So there are several different types of Feng Shui, and you might be familiar with this. There's the regular Feng Shui, or the traditional, it's called Feng Shui. And that deals with more absolute direction and specific symbols that you have to place in your home in order to make it work. Whereas Western Feng Shui, also known as Tibetan Feng Shui, works with the entryway of a space. And that is more geared toward those who want a little bit more flexibility, those in the Western world, which is why it's called Western Feng Shui, to be able to utilize this system in a way that works for them and their homes. Because a lot of the homes here, they don't correlate to the architecture that's needed in Feng Shui. So the Western Feng Shui is what I've been trained in, and it's magnificent. It was brought to the Western world in the 70s by Thomas Lin Yun, and he made it popular just because of this simplicity and the fact that he brought the energetics of Feng Shui with the belief in more of the internal Feng Shui that we're going to talk a little bit about today. So that is all the intention pieces that I was mentioning. That is the flexibility pieces. That is using the entryway instead of the direction. And we'll get into more, but that's basically why it caught on so well. So again, it's powerful because there's millions of people doing the same thing for thousands of years. So they're all having the same intention for the same purpose. And that's where the concentrated energy comes in to help us utilize the same intention over and over again for the same purpose and get the same result. And that's where the Bagua map comes in. So also, if you do want the Bagua map, we're not going to talk about it today, but I do offer that as a free gift if you go to my website, michellepowell.me /Feng Shui, and you will be able to enter your information and receive that Bagua map for free. So that is basically the history of Feng Shui, and the whole point of Feng Shui is this overarching concept of metaphors, right? Of energy and metaphors and correlations, and that's where we can utilize this ancient information to actually create the life that we want. And I see it time and time again. A lot of people are not into Feng Shui, or they don't believe it, or especially my husband, he did not believe it at first until we actually gave it the attention that it deserved, moved some stuff around in relation to this ancient art, and things started to shift. So I want to bring to light the fact that it may seem a little esoteric, or a little woo-woo, or a little weird, but the whole point of Feng Shui is to bring more attention and awareness, and therefore more energy flow into our lives. And so we utilize the concept of metaphors and the concept of energy to create what we want. Okay, so I hope that makes sense to all of you. And in Western Feng Shui, it focuses on special cures or things that you can do to fix areas that might be off, out of alignment, or broken. And these are for like incompatible areas, so nothing is ever wrong, but it's always, we just need to work with it, right? So there's the Western Feng Shui coming in, flexibility coming in. There's always something that you can do in relation to your space and what you have, the resources you have. There's never anything that you need to like go change dramatically about your space, but more so it's about how much more attention can you give it. And that's the premise of this energy and the concept of metaphors. And I love the old adage, energy flows where attention goes. That's basically all about Feng Shui too, because the point of Feng Shui is to give your space more attention, right? So if there's something wrong in your life, there's usually an area within your space that relates to that area of life, and something about it is not getting enough attention that it needs. And there's a law called the law of relative placement, and basically states that which is closest to us has the most impact. So again, why Feng Shui is so powerful, because whatever you're closest to you has the most impact on you. Or what's going on in your space is going on in your life. That's what I like to say. And so it teaches us how to always make space for what is actually going to serve us, instead of not looking at something, or instead of just putting things away in a drawer, or instead of just buying things over and over and not, unconsciously just assuming that we think we need it or we should have it or anything like that. So Feng Shui forces us to actually pay attention and align our space with our desired life. And it's no different with the relationships. So again, this is protected information. I'm just going over really, really basic level information right now. Any other information that's more advanced is protected by a tradition called the red envelope. And you may have heard about this. They still do it to this day, especially on Chinese New Year. But most of this information that we'll be talking about today is really, really basic. So if you ever want to know more or go in more in depth in a conversation, you can also sign up on my website to have a Feng Shui Map It Out session where we can go a little bit more in depth, or do a personal, private, one-on-one session. So the next thing I want to talk about is intuitive Feng Shui. And we're leading into the relationship factor, by the way. So I'm not just going off on everything Feng Shui. And intuitive Feng Shui means that everyone technically knows Feng Shui because it comes from an inner place within us that we desire anyway. So we don't necessarily think that it's Feng Shui that when we're feeling something is off or good, but it's just that the concept of balance, the concept of feeling good or feeling right is always within us. So imagine you go into a space, any space at all, and you just have that feeling of either it feels off or scary or weird, or it feels really good and cozy and fun and lovely. So those are the two examples of you having intuitive Feng Shui. Everyone always knows what feels right for them, what they need. There's a thing called power position in Feng Shui, which talks about your back being against the wall like I am now. And that sets you up for doing the task at hand to the best of your ability. So it's all in correlation to how you're feeling and how balanced everything is in your body and in your life. And it just goes on to what are you feeling that you need in the space that you're in. Okay, so whenever you feel like something's off or something's really good, know that that's your ability within you to create that balance. And the next thing we'll talk about is the three-step process for moving your stuff. So this is a big one. A lot of the time people come to me and they want to know about Feng Shui and they say, well, don't I need to just move this? Or don't I need, or is this wrong to do in Feng Shui? Is this bad? Is this bad Feng Shui? And I always tell them there's never anything necessarily bad in Feng Shui, but if there is a desire to change or a desire to shift the energy or shift something in your life, then that's what we can evaluate. So the whole point of Feng Shui, again, is to bring attention, more attention and awareness to your space and to your items in a way that hasn't been brought there before. So if there's something that feels off, then it might just need an amplification of energy, right? So the first step in creating that energetic shift is placing an item, and basically what that means is figuring out what item you would like to bring in. Again, we're not going to get into the bagua or the specifics of what to utilize in Feng Shui. But when you have an item that you'd like to move or place, just making sure that that item is aligned with you, that there's a purpose for it, and that it has an energetic purpose for it, basically. The next step is to actually set an intention for this item. So not only do you need to place an item somewhere, but you always need to have an intention for it. Even a piece of furniture like a dresser that you just use to store clothes, you're going to have an intention that it's going to store your clothes easily and effortlessly. Or it's going to be a place of cleanly, organized storage solution, right? So that's an intention. Another intention could be for your art or anything that's on the walls that are there to inspire you. So not only would you place that item, but once you give it an intention, once you have a purpose, a deeper purpose for that placement, it becomes amplified. It becomes energetically amplified. And so you bring yourself into each item through this way. And then the final step in the process is blessing your item. So to recap, it's placing your item, it's giving it an intention. Why do you want to have this item here in the first place? And blessing it. And that could simply just mean a thank you. It doesn't have to be a complicated blessing ritual, but it does have to be blessed by you. And what that means is simply you honoring this item to be in your home. I believe that everything in our home is sacred. And so when we have items that aren't blessed, that aren't adored and cherished, that's when the energy starts to go a little off, right? That's when things get messy, or you don't notice your items as much as anymore, or things just don't work. You know, that's when clutter happens, when we postpone the priorities, or when we disregard how much of one type of item that we have, right? So we want to use this process to really be conscious about our space and our stuff. So again, that's placing the items. And again, you can go through your whole space and do this with everything you have, and just touch the items as you do this. So you don't have to replace everything. You can kind of go through and redo this process, or just use it when you put something new in. So to recap, it's placing the item, it's setting the intention for it, and giving it a blessing of some kind. And I promise when you do this process, you are going to see a major shift. And I would suggest doing this with items that are less used even. So those things that are in the back of the cabinet, or in a storage container, or the storage container, or your closet, somewhere where you don't normally give it the attention that it needs. I promise you'll see some shifts. Okay, so relationships. This is a big topic, and what I wanted to cover today was the most simplest cure that I can come up with to help you shift something immediately. And what I thought of was something that I always do and always share with my clients weekly, and I'll share with you in a minute, but basically it's not something specific to Feng Shui, but it's utilizing the concept of balance and metaphors to bring in the change that you're looking for in your life. So again, we're talking about metaphors. If we're trying to mend a relationship, or enhance it, or maybe even bring out more of the truth. Maybe the relationship needs to be over and dissolve, and we're not ready to accept it. So maybe it needs to come to completion, but that's the truth in the relationship. So whatever needs to happen in your relationships needs to happen in your space. You need to be reminded of this intention all the time, right? So that's what tells our subconscious to do what it does. So I want to do a quick visualization real fast, and you don't have to be in a quiet space or anything like that, but just quickly think of your relationships now. So take a moment and just think about, your husband or your wife, your boyfriend or your girlfriend, your friends or your family, and how many of them are out of balance? Or what is the status of those relationships? Which ones could use a little TLC? And is there a commonality between the relationships that you have? Maybe one with your significant other and your friends have the same little off imbalance. Is there a commonality within the relationships? And now I want you to visualize your home. And I'm not going to first start out with your whole home. Imagine if there's any correlation between your items, or maybe the frustration that you have about your home, and the same imbalance in your relationships. Do you see a correlation? Do you see a connection? And if you visualize your home, what would you describe it as? Maybe even what would you describe the frustrations as, or how would you describe the level of flow, or the level of organization, the level of enjoyment? How would you describe that in general about your home? And just say these things to yourself real fast. And what stands out to you? What's even a common thread in your home or a common theme, like organized is a common theme, or neutral color is a common theme, or mismatched theme, or I don't know. What is it for you? What do you think of when you think of your home? What's like the overarching thread? And does it relate to your relationships? Another way to think about it is, how would a stranger describe your home if they walked in right now? And not little things, but the overarching theme. What would they tell another stranger about the home that they just walked in on? And see if anything's popping up. Again, I would love to hear any ahas that happen throughout this video. Again, I would just love to hear what's coming up for you, if there's any questions, if you're confused. But I hope that something's clicking where there is a correlation of where the imbalances are reflecting. And I'm going to go into this number one cure, but know that, again, it's a metaphor, and it doesn't have to be necessarily in your space. It could be everywhere you go. You could utilize this cure. It could be in your thoughts. And what the cure is it's simply being able to surround yourself with pairs of exact things. Pairs meaning physical items that are exactly like, thoughts that are alike or yin and yang in balance. So if we have a thought that's bad, maybe we balance it out with a thought that's good. Pairs meaning, how many things in your life are you surrounded by that are the same or work in tandem? So again, the metaphor here is balance and equality and harmony, which is Feng Shui. So that's what you need to be surrounded by in order to experience the balance, the harmony, the equality, the love. Love requires balance and harmony. So I want you to think about specifically your bedroom. It doesn't matter where it is in the Bhagwan map, but just think about your bedroom. Do you have 2 nightstands and 2 lamps that are equal on the sides of your bed? Do you have openings along the sides of your bed so that 2 people can enter, even if you're single, even if you live alone? Are you welcoming that significant other to enter your bed? Do you have 2 dressers or 2 places in the closet? Do you have pictures of 2 exact things or 2 things, again, that are complementary but basically the same thing? Because a lot of the times, and I'm guessing that's what's popping up for you, is that there's a lot of single items. If anyone's having a relationship issue or a balance issue, there's usually a lot of one items. Do you know what I mean? Like what things that are just one solid thing, like one nightstand or one big painting or one pillow. You know what I mean? So see if you can scan your bedroom, because the bedroom always represents relationships and balance of any kind. Doesn't matter where it is in the Bhagwan again. And see if anything pops out at you as an imbalance in the pairs thing. And then also, don't just stop at your bedroom. Go into your home. Are you surrounded by single items? One chair, one couch, one painting, one table? How many pairs of things are you surrounded by on a constant basis? Even bring this into your car. Bring it into your laptop, what do you call it? Desktop. little screen that you can have a photo of. Bring it into your phone. How many places can you bring in pairs? Something that represents balance, something that represents equality and harmony and love. The two of you. The number 2 in general represents relationships. Again, whether it's intimate or friendly or family, doesn't matter. So I invite you to think about how much you can bring in the element of pairs, this idea of pairs into your life, especially now during the holidays, even if it's temporary. So right now I have two crystals that are on my desk, and I don't always have them here, but it's the holidays and I live with my husband, and I want to energetically amplify this specific time of year. So I'm putting close to me at my desk 2 of these crystals. And so that represents to me, that amplification of balance and harmony and love. So anything at all, it doesn't have to be specific to Feng Shui. I just want you to get in the habit, especially around this time of year, just including more of the pairs into your life. How creative can you get? What items represent love to you? How can you move your stuff around, setting intentions to create more of this pairs mentality? Okay, so again, bringing it to the rest of your home besides your bedroom. How many times a day do you see pairs of things? That's what you want to get at, because again, it's the repetition, it's what's closest to you, has the most impact on you. So that's what's going to get into your head. I have solid relationships. My relationships are balanced. I am loved. I give love. I am in harmony. My relationships are pure. Is this making sense? Okay. So that is all to share about Feng Shui for today. And I would love to talk to you about the program that's coming up in January that I'm hosting, and it's called Around the Bagua, 9 weeks to energetically uplevel every area of your life. And what it is it is a group Feng Shui program where we meet every week for 9 weeks, and we go over every area of the Bagua map. So that is career and life path. It is family and money. It is prosperity and abundance. It is fame and reputation, health, love and relationships, creativity and inspiration in the future, travel, spirituality, and wisdom and knowledge. So we're going to cover everything energetically about every one of those spaces. And what you'll find is that the areas of your life are going to change and shift. When you give it this attention, when you have this knowledge and this know-how, things just start to work and things start to come in place. Just like I shared with the pairs, this is going to be instantaneous. When you do the 3-step process with the pairs, you're going to find some sort of shift in a positive way in your life. So this class was built on the beginning of my training. So I started off in a class like this 4.5 years ago, and it changed my life, and it changed my husband's life, and he didn't even sign up for it. So it's really powerful. It's really close to my home, and I'm offering each one of these beautiful people. There's only 9 spots total. I think there's only 5 spots left. I'm offering everyone a 90-minute coaching session, and this is like an energy alignment session is what I call it, to utilize the information that we're learning specifically for them so that they can integrate properly in a way that they need to, in a customized way, because the group thing can only go as far as we can for the group. So I wanted an element of private coaching in there so that they can really move forward and utilize this information and dive a little deeper into who they are and utilize these tools that we can use on the inner Feng Shui. So this is a holistic journey. It is a 9-week journey to dive into your space, into your desires, into your goals. So if you're desiring to energetically uplevel your life and have a little bit of an energetic recharge this is definitely the class for you. So we're going to learn, I'll read the little blurb that I have. We're going to learn about all the components of the Bagua map, right? What I just said. We're going to learn how to increase your manifesting ability and call in what you really want through the simple and powerful techniques such as Feng Shui, but there's also other things that are involved in secret sauce protocols that I'm going to share with you. And then we're going to uncover your energetic discrepancies, what's actually blocking you from success, and implement those strategic cures specifically for you so that you can achieve your desired outcome. We're going to learn how to create sacred space and how to actually use it. We are going to learn organizing and design tips so that you can create these sacred spaces and so that you adore your environment. That's also a big piece of Feng Shui, actually cherishing your environment and loving it, using every aspect of it. And then we're going to learn how to do a blessing for a space as well. So it's going to be really fun. And so again, it's 9 weeks, 9 people. It's open to men or women, 9 classes, and that one 90-minute private coaching session. So each person's going to get one of those. And we'll have a private Facebook forum as well for that continued support. And the fun, exciting thing I'm going to offer right now, I'm going to offer 2 actually. And one of those, the first bonuses for those that sign up next 2015 is $50 off of the regular investment. So normally it's $397. It's going to be $347 up until December 26th, and that is the total price that is available. So it's a very low price point for those that want to dip their toes into something like this. And it'll be the lowest price point I'm going to be offering for quite a while, because this is my first Feng Shui program. So I'm taking these people on a journey myself and dipping my toes in as well. But I'm so excited to be leading this. And so what I'm also going to offer for those that sign up this week are my Blessing Bundle package, which is it's an audio and video package bundle where it includes a how-to bless your space, right? So we're going to cover that in the class, but you're also going to get a special training video where you can utilize it over and over again. This is really helpful if you have events or if you have clients that you work in their spaces a lot. And so you can really hone in on how to do this blessing, how to make it work for you each and every time. Maybe things will change, maybe it won't. But it will also include 5 mantra chanting audios where they include 5 of my favorite mantras that I use to, again, up-level my life. And so they're for each one has a different purpose, and that's what the package includes. So you can play each mantra when you need it, right? So it's really fun. I'm excited about it. So you get that for free. You also get my Feng Shui cheat sheet. So it has the Bagua map on that as well, and you can just reference this whenever you need to get those basics, a little bit that we covered today and a little bit more, just so you can have that reference. It's an easy go-to sheet. And then you'll also get the How to Make Your Space Sparkle with Your Personality mini guidebook that I've created. And I'm so excited about this. I created it last year, and it is such a gem. It covers everything from organizing to design to Feng Shui to decluttering. It is really, really concentrated information that's going to help you completely reinvent your space, of course on your own terms, but it's just a great guidebook for those that are ready to change their space and make it more them and more sparkly. So those are the bonuses that you get if you sign up this week for the Around the Bagua Feng Shui group program starting in January. Again, that's $50 off the price of admission, the tuition, so that's $347 for those 9 weeks. You'll get the Blessing Bundle, the Feng Shui cheat sheet, and the How to Make Your Space Sparkle with Your Personality guidebook. Now, for those that are all in, for those that know right now that you want this, that you're interested, that this is the time for you to invest in yourself and finally learn this ancient art of Feng Shui to really up-level your life, or use this information for your clients. I have a couple ladies that are going to be utilizing this information for their own clients, how they serve their clients. So it's a win-win, right? So we're going to dive into our own lives, and we're also going to be able to share this information once we embody it and know it really well at the end of it. So for those that are all in and feel the resonance of a yes, I'm going to offer you $100 off today only, or for the next 24 hours. Let's put it that way. And I'm going to offer you free class entry to my Elemental Alchemy workshop, which is the most magical workshop ever. I did it with only 4 people in my mastermind. That's how it was birthed. And it was so incredible. I can't even tell you how magical the whole experience was for me leading it, and all the women were just blown away by how magical and fun and playful it was. And they were able to take that information and utilize the next steps in a way that felt really fun and authentic and aligned and feminine for them. So the Elemental Alchemy workshop is basically utilizing all of the elements of Feng Shui and bringing that into our body. So it's the embodiment of Feng Shui. That's the workshop. So it's a really, really special workshop, and I'm not offering it to the public. It's only a benefit, a bonus for those that sign up within the next 24 hours. Okay, so again, that's the next 24 hours. You get $100 off. That's $297 for the 9 weeks, and the Elemental Alchemy workshop with me. That's the bonuses for this next 24 hours. And again, you can get that free Bagua gift if you head over to my website, michellepowell.me/feng shui, and you can get that free gift from me there. And let me know how that goes as well. If you have any questions around it, we can schedule that free session to help you understand it more. And I just want to be here for all of you that, again, love and are so interested in Feng Shui, because this should be a community. You know, people working together, trying to up-level their life, using the resources that we all have. I would love to come together in something like this. So again, let me know how you feel about what you learned today. If you want to stay in touch, I'm on Facebook and Instagram the most, so let me know if you want to be friends. And I so look forward to those feeling the call to join the program in January. It's going to be phenomenal, I promise you. I'm going to give it my all, and I can't wait for you to join it. It's just going to be so fun. So thank you all for being here. We are complete, and I'll be staying on right now to answer any questions if you guys have any live. And if you're watching this, go ahead and jump over to the live. You can click the live link if you're watching live. And if you have any questions for me, you can answer them, or you can ask them now, and I'll answer them. Okay. All right, well, thank you so much, everyone, and so many blessings to you. Thank you.